All right, guys. Happy Monday. Hey, we got the dub. A win is a win, right? Guys, Oklahoma Sooners 34, Tulane Green Wave 19. I'd be lying to say I wasn't nervous, guys. When we started choking away that 21-point lead, it definitely felt like OU. It almost felt like Brent's first year, right? Like we started hot coming off that win against Nebraska, and then we just kind of like trickled down, right? The play just got worse and worse. It almost felt like that today. You know, we hop up on them. We're up 21-3. And gosh, man, it's just so frustrating. We should have blown this thing open. And to know that we let them back in with just some, just some stuff. That fourth down play where he barely crosses the line. Then Jackson gives up the pick six. There's a lot left to be desired about this game, guys, and I'm sure you're with me. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, what you guys thought. But I was nervous, guys. I predicted this game 27-20. I'm definitely happy that we got the win. But, again, knowing the caliber of teams we have coming up, Tennessee this weekend, guys, I know they blew out a nobody. They played a high school team. They beat them like 71-0 or something like that. But the competition's definitely going to step up, right? And Tulane, take nothing away from them, but this should have been a 30-point game. You know, this should have been that. And I don't want that to be later on in the year where we're saying that should have been a win. You know what I mean? Because, again, if we let some of these better teams get back in the game, guys, it's going to be nasty for us this year. We're going to have a lot of losses start stacking up on each other if we don't, we don't really put them away. As Brent likes to say, we don't step on their throat. Because I didn't see that this game. Like third quarter, guys, it looked like our offense was out of steam. Our O-line looked tired. Jackson threw the pick six. And then, guys, guess what? Our defense is on the field more. So, definitely did not have a great feeling about this one heading into the fourth. We were able to pull away late with some of our Mason's sacks, which we've been begging for as Oklahoma fan base. We've been hearing nothing but, hey, these edge men, these D linemen, these defensive, these DNs, all this talent. It was nice to finally see that work put in. You know, our Mason, guys, 3 sacks. 1 forced fumble recovery. Almost should have took it in for a touchdown if he broke that tackle. But some keys to the game, guys, that I really want to hit on that were really the biggest things that I've seen. And looking at the box score and kind of seeing where we're at, guys, the time of possession was huge for us. As an Oklahoma fan, and I'm sure you guys have seen it before too, guys, we're used to getting killed on the time of possession and still winning these games because our offense is so good, right? Guys, time of possession this game, 31 minutes and 42 seconds for OU and 28 minutes and 18 seconds for Tulane. So it could have been more if we could have sustained some of these drives. Again, I know the third quarter was rough for us, but guys, I'm happy to see that we're actually taking care of the football for the most part and winning this time of possession. Because, guys, if our offense isn't going to be as effective this year and our defense is going to be what it's going to be, we need to take care of the ball. We need to be able to sustain drives because, guys, if we are doing that up-tempo offense 3-and-out stuff, our defense is going to live on the field when we get to conference play. So, again, super happy to see the time of possession in OU's favor. Third down conversions, guys. We were like 130th in the country through the first 2 weeks of these games. Guys, and it was so frustrating to watch the first 2 games and not to be able to sustain any sort of momentum or any drives. We'd take a negative play, and it would be 2nd and 14 and then 3rd and 9, and we just wouldn't be able to sustain any drives. A little bit better today, guys, or on Saturday, 8 of 16, 50%. We're definitely going to need to be better, playing, Tennessee's of the world, Alabama's of the world, Texas's of the world. We got to be able to sustain the drives and keep our defense off the field. So it was definitely a breath of fresh air to at least go 50%, not these 2 of 16 type days like we had at the beginning of the year. So happy to see that. And guys, Our punter is lights out. And I know Brent gave him some love in his presser last week, but guys, Luke Elzinga, man, he's putting these teams in their 20-yard line or closer each punt. And it's so awesome to see, guys, them have to go a length of the football field on our defense and them have to sustain drives to have any sort of points on the board. Because, guys, what's great, too, is say they are settling for field goals. Some of these field goals are a lot longer than they usually are because the field possession they're getting is so bad, right? How many possessions did they have when they started at their 10-yard line and closer to the goal line, right? They had at least 3 or 4 possessions that were from their 10 and in. And, guys, we need that to sustain for the rest of the year because, guys, if our offense is sputtering at times and our defense is on the field, we need to make the opposing offenses go the length of the field. So I thought that was huge. Luke Elzinga, please keep that up, bro. It's been nice to see you. Very refreshing. Excuse me. Guys, some questions that I have for this game. Does Gavin Sawchuk get bounced to third string? Right? Taylor Tatum's looking great with the few possessions he's getting. He did have that huge mental lapse on the blitz pickup where Jackson threw the pick 6. So again, some mental errors that we cannot afford at all, but we also can't afford to leave Taylor Tatum on the sideline. Javonte Barnes had some runs that, guys, he's right there from popping this thing wide open. One thing I don't like to see that has been common with him, guys, he gives up the one-on-one tackle. Like it's always a forearm bringing him down, right? He had that one for like 10 to 12 where the guy barely touched his foot and he went down. So I look for Javonte to get stronger and run through that type of stuff. And for me, is Gavin bounced to third though, because he's been starting off these games, not getting much PT throughout. And I just don't know if we can keep the other two out with the way they're playing. Second thing, guys, receivers. Are we going to have a receiving core by committee this year? Or are we going to have, someone step up to go with Deion Burks? Because Deion Burks, guys, he's been doing great. 7 receptions, 80 yards. Did have a huge drop on that third and long play that would have kept the drive going. But, guys, we need someone else to step up, especially when we start playing stiffer competition. We're not going to be able to just depend on these freshmen, these guys that are all under 6 foot, 5'11". We need Nick Anderson back. We need Andrell Anthony back. And I'm just excited to see, is anybody going to come up and really step up? Because last year, guys, we had Andrell Anthony in the beginning of the year before he got hurt. Nick Anderson and Drake Stoops, guys, were our top 3, right? And then Jalil Farouk, not to even mention him. Guys, this year it's really only been Deion Burks. And then we've had a couple tight ends that have a huge game last week. But guys, like, where's the sustainability long term? Like, we need other people to step up, especially if health is going to be a concern, which it already is. But you never know with lingering injuries with Nick and Andrell. So comment below, guys. Is it going to be a receiver room by committee this year, or are we going to have a solid 1-2-3 punch when we get these guys back healthy? And number 3, guys, I want you guys to answer for me, because this is the thing that it's kind of frustrating as a diehard OU fan to finally see a defense that's worth a damn. Man, if we had any sort of defense like this when we had Baker, Kyler, Jalen, these teams that we got into the playoff, if we had this defense, how many national championships would we have? I guarantee you wouldn't be 7 where we're at sitting now. And I guess that's the frustrating thing, is the defense finally has a pulse. We look like we're on the verge of being a top 10 defense in the country, but our offense now is flip-flopped, right? Our offense looks like it's hard to watch sometimes, and I'm sure you guys could agree, but that's what scares me, guys. We haven't been down in a game yet this year. What happens if Tennessee jumps out on us and our offense has to go put points on the board, or we have to sustain drives to keep our defense off the field? What does that look like for us? Because we haven't been put in that situation yet. We haven't played a team yet that's on the same talent level as we are. And that's what makes me nervous, because, guys, the defense is great, but the defense isn't going to be out there putting points up on the board like the opposing offenses are going to. So can our offense improve enough to give our defense help? That's really what I want to see. If we can play complementary ball enough, guys, if we put 35 points up a game, 35, 40 points up a game, there's no reason why we're not 10-2, 9-3 at the end of the year. And that's not a stretch. But these games where we're struggling to get 25, 30 up, guys, it's going to be a dogfight, especially when we're playing these high-flying offenses like we do, you know, the Texas, Alabamas, and Tennessees. Our offense better come ready to play because we cannot afford to turn the ball over at all, and we need to sustain these drives and control the time of possession. So players of the game, guys, no-brainer for me on the defensive side, R. Mason Thomas, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. It was so refreshing again to see him come out of his shell and get back from these injuries and hear what everybody's been talking so highly of him about. It's nice to finally see him come through. Offensive player of the game, guys, it was a mixed bag throughout till the fourth quarter, but Jackson Arnold, guys, came through in a huge way. That run, guys, if he doesn't run that in for a touchdown there and we have to settle for a field goal, I don't know where this game lies, right? But for us to get up that, what was it? 12 points late? It was huge in the fourth quarter. But Jackson Arnold cannot afford to turn the ball over, have to do a better job there. Wasn't all his fault. Taylor needs to pick up that block. But, guys, it was definitely refreshing to see a quarterback that is more than capable of moving around and putting points on the board with his feet. So, guys, leave your comments, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about the game. I took a day or two to kind of think about, where we were at. Because one, I was probably frustrated that we squeaked out. It felt like a win late in the fourth. Because again, I do feel like we should have won that game 20 to 30 points. But in the same token, we're getting better, man. We're getting better. We're not how we looked the first 2 weeks. Defense still only put up 12 points, so got to be satisfied with that. But I'm still excited. We're putting pieces together. Hopefully we get some more healthy players back. And, guys, we got Tennessee coming up. Tennessee, huge game this Saturday. Arguably one of the biggest games probably, in the last 5 years or so at home. I know we had Ohio State come through a couple years ago. But, yeah, Tennessee, guys, number 6 in the country. We're still at 15 after the polls came out. I'll be dropping a preview video here in a couple days. But, again, second podcast, guys. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Really means a lot. And I look forward to bringing you guys more of my insight on what I thought looking at the games. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.